Hi, my name is Shawn Shaler. This is my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. And you can be the Objective Geek of other things too. I don't know why I say that. I say that because that's why I want people to interact with you. But you be the Objective Geek wherever you like. I'm not going to limit you.
I'm also the Objective Geek on Instagram, although I post absolutely nothing to Instagram. I'm just on there to look at random people's artwork.
I did not know
And
you had an Instagram. I probably did, but I don't know that I'm even following you or anything on Instagram.
I don't do anything on there. I follow it's funny because a lot of people on Facebook follow me just because whenever Facebook follow Instagram, a lot of people automatically started adding me there. I'm like, I'm not even there. And then I changed my whole name to the Objective Geek and stuff. But I never post anything. I just follow maybe five people, like my sister, a couple of different artists who done Keikachi95, who does a lot of great. Really, I think the only person doing some really great Rise of Kyoshi art. Really amazing stuff. Really bringing that book to life. And I follow a Healthy Dose of Fran on there, and I think I already mentioned my sister, and this other artist who does a lot of mosaic art. That's really inspired me to do some more, to do some mosaic glass art.
Healthy Dose of Fran, very interactive with us on Twitter too, which always makes me feel good. Thanks, Healthy Dose of Fran. Hey, Chris, welcome back to another week of Avatar The Last Podcasters, and if you have not noticed yet, we are here in a weekly format, and it's something that was the big, quote-unquote, big for us. I don't know if it's big for you people, but it's something we're going to try and test just to see what it does to viewership, or if it helps us be more or less efficient. It allows us to maybe record multiple episodes in a single sitting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We don't really have a preference, I don't think, but was something we wanted to try out and see what happened. And I think that weekly releases might be good in the YouTube algorithm. I think that could be a boost, but I'm not actually sure. We'll find out. So I hope you joined us this week because you joined us last week, and that the cliffhanger, that the hook, I hope it worked. And I don't know. I personally, when I listen to podcasts and things, I certainly prefer the weekly format. It's just easier to keep up with. So we'll see. We hope it works, or if it doesn't, we hope it's obvious, and then we'll just go back to the other way. But for now, please enjoy a weekly installment for the second consecutive week of Avatar: The Last Podcasters. That being said, Chris, how are you doing in the past 15 minutes since I asked you the previous time?
Actually, a couple of things.
Excellent.
First of all, we have a Facebook page now that I kind of created on the fly, and was somewhat not that easy to create. So you can look us up on Facebook. Just search Avatar: The Last Podcasters, and you can be one of the first to get on the ground floor of following us.
And we will send you a high five or something. No, Chris, it looks really good.
Payless?
Yeah. I meant the virtual one, not a work reward.
Okay.
But yeah. That is kind of funny. That's ingrained in my brain. It looks really good, and it's nice just to have a presence on all three. Yeah. On all three platforms, whether it's as a cumulative or individually, it's nice. But Facebook pages are not convenient to make at all. They take it kind of serious.
Didn't feel like it.
Yeah,
but
it keeps asking me for my phone number. I was like, I'm not gonna let people call my house when I'm recording. That's outlandish.
It keeps on hey, just give me $20 and I can show 10,000 people this.
It's like Dave Chappelle as the crack addict. It's like, just give me $20, man. Come on.
Just give me $20, man. Come on. I swear, I'll get this to 10,000 people.
Oh, and it keeps trying to bribe me with a free one first. It's like, hey, man, you spend $5, I'll give you your next 20 free.
Yeah.
Please calm down, you weird. Whatever. It's Facebook takes business pages very seriously for some reason.
I mean, on the flip side of it, YouTube is just YouTube is really easy to just get up and start doing it, right? You already have a YouTube page if you just have a YouTube sign-in. You just got to change a few things.
Let's say if you're liking videos, then you have a YouTube page. You have a channel, whether you have videos on it or not.
Which is funny enough, because before I had a YouTube, before I felt like I was a YouTuber, I used to never like videos, not because I didn't like them, just because I didn't. I was like, oh, whatever. I don't need to. I didn't care to like form a playlist of liked videos. And now that I'm a YouTuber, I know like that like button is essential to like it's part of the algorithm and everything. It feeds. It helps YouTube know that like, oh, people like this, and I want to. And then YouTube pushes it out to more people. So like hitting the like button is really important. Even though I didn't know that when I before.
I use the like button and the play like I create playlists of other people's videos just for like memory's sake. Like, oh, that's very handy information. I want to like
Yeah.
I have like an archive of other people's good stuff. It's I kind of I won't say abuse it, like it's what they want to do, but it's strange. I have a lot of videos on my page that I did not create because I think those playlists
My
are public.
my watch later. There's like 500 videos in my watch later.
My watch later is outrageous. But it's usually like, so I, as a KU football fan, you might know that we had one good season. Whatever, that's exaggerating. We had a span of like 7 good seasons or 5 seasons in 7 years that were good. But we had one outlandishly good season. Well, you can still find most of the games from that season on YouTube. So like if you look at my YouTube, some of my watch laters are just like replays of games from that year. They're like, oh, I remember that game. I want to go watch that at some point. It's just old football games on YouTube, and I lead a pretty boring life, as you might be able to tell. Just how I like it. Just how I like it. But the Facebook page
but
looks great.
besides the Facebook page, I am really excited for Planet Comic Con coming up next
Oh
year.
yeah.
I mean, and it's pretty early. They've just now kind of started to announce a lot more celebrities and guests.
Is it in
Kevin
April?
Conroy,
April or May?
March.
March.
It's March.
Okay.
Yeah. Kevin Conroy would be there again. We've already met him 2 years ago. So that was a lot of fun. Kevin Conroy's a really, really great guy.
And when he got up on the table and did the voice for the little kid, warmed my
I
heart.
don't think he did it for a little kid. I think he just does it for everybody at every single
You think
panel,
so?
at every
I feel
single
like the little
con he
kid
goes.
asked him to do it, but maybe not.
Oh, okay.
I misinterpret things all the time. Chris, let people have this as a good story, even if it's false. It's
Okay.
the story the people.
He's a great person, nonetheless.
It's not the story the people deserve, but it's the one they need right now.
Yeah. And then I was really excited that Phil Lamar. If you know who Phil Lamar is, you have heard his voice. I guarantee it. He was like one of the black guys on Mad TV. He is the voice of Samurai Jack. He is the voice of Jon Stewart on Justice League animated series. He's the voice of Static and Static Shock. He's honestly one of the best voice actors there is. Like he has such a huge range that he can go through. Like he could play Asian character, he can play a white character, he can play old, young, black, whatever. Like he's really talented. He voices. I'm pretty sure he voices the black guy on Futurama.
Nice.
But
that's fantastic.
yeah. But he'll be
no,
there.
I
So I'm
wouldn't
really
have
excited.
known. I wouldn't have known who it was if you hadn't described it. But obviously, I have experience with most of those shows. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he'll be there. I'm looking forward to that because I think I will cosplay as Static again. I like to reuse the same thing at least 2 years in a row.
It
So
got
next year
so
I'll
much
probably-
love this year that I would be tempted to do the same if I were you. Like people ate that costume up. You got to do it.
Oh, and especially the Phil Mara is going to be there. He voiced Static, so I really that's just I can't wait to form that memory.
You already have a memory that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
That's kind of adorable.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and get him to sign this statue of Jon Stewart here, and then maybe to get Kevin Conroy to sign this Batman statue. Yeah, I'll probably. Oh crap! My camera right in front of me.
So,
But yeah, so excited about that.
I don't know much about Static Shock outside of what you've told me and outside of meeting the creator last year. When I say meeting, you met him. I just sat in a panel, but I learned a lot. So today I was like, man, if you go as Static, I at least want to be in theme. And so I was like, just looking on the Wikia, and then I saw Steve Nash there, and I was like, what? It's got to be
Oh, is
another
that why you
Steve
said
Nash.
Steve Nash?
Yeah,
I was really curious why you mentioned Steve Nash in your tweet
he
today.
and so well,
He
and I
no,
was just like,
he was on episode, yeah.
he was on. I don't know how many episodes. It was at least two, I think. Like there was a minor reappearance, but I could be mixing it up, or it could have been an hour-long special. Again, I don't know much about it, but I saw Steve Nash, and so I clicked. It's like, oh, that's funny. His name is Steve Nash, and it's the Steve Nash, and it's like a group of superheroes that are also
Yeah.
basketball players. So it's
I'm
Steve Nash playing
Tracy
himself.
McGrady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
Steve
forgot the
Nash
other two.
playing
Maybe Yao Ming.
himself, but in as he's playing himself, he has a superhero alter ego. I don't remember the other ones, but the only one that I could play respectably would be Steve Nash, and so that's all I got to do is a blue morph suit, and then kind of like paint the white design on the front and get a motorcycle helmet, and maybe get ripped. That would help fill the costume better, but I'll be Point Man. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I also love old Scooby-Doo episodes with like the Harlem Globetrotters or where random people, like the wrestling one where the Rock and people are on it. I love weird celebrity cameos in cartoons, so I'll seek out that episode and I will watch it, and I believe I will enjoy it. That's exciting news, though.
I thought you were gonna say when you were looking up static stuff, you're gonna be his his best friend, who's like his white best friend.
I mean,
his name is Richie.
That. I don't remember the guy's name. Can you remind me? The white best friend.
His name is Richie.
And
like he does eventually in Static Shock. He does eventually get superpowers. He's like really smart. He can make like his superpower name is Gear. He's just really smart. He can make like electronics and stuff.
That's what they were calling him on the Wikia for the most part, I think. The issue I had with him was the blonde hair. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
Blonde
Yeah.
hair. I mean, I went as Bane with hair one year, but I'm more serious now. No, I was looking through for interesting characters, and it's like Steve Nash. Even if it's not the Steve Nash, it's like that still sounds like a white guy name. That's something I could play. And then it turns out it was the Steve Nash, and I think that's marvelous. So
I think you could probably get a cheap Steve Nash jersey from somewhere, maybe.
That would actually be the easier way to go, right? Just get a Steve Nash. Yeah. Actually, that's really intelligent, more intelligent than the blue morph suit.
It is. Yeah.
I have fairly long hair, and Steve Nash now has a little bit shorter hair. So like my hair right now would even be Steve Nash appropriate. But I'm getting
Richie maybe.
I'm getting Suns Steve Nash. I'm not doing any Lakers Steve Nash.
That's fine. I don't even like the Lakers Steve Nash. And I'm
poor guy. I wish he'd had a more appropriate ending.
That was a terrible year as a Lakers fan. Started a lot of high hopes.
Poor Lakers. And how much good would Steve Nash have done for that team if he had been, even 75% of peak Steve Nash? But
yeah, I mean, one thing, we hired the wrong coach that year. We hired
I agree.
D'Antoni, I think. I never liked D'Antoni. Anyway,
when D'Antoni is your coach, you have to let him control everything, and even then, as we're seeing now, that's still not enough.
You need players that are young enough and has legs and are fast enough. You had like a 32-year-old, 33-year-old Kobe Bryant. You had Dwight Howard, who's slow. You had like a 39-year-old Steve Nash. It just wasn't the team just didn't gel.
It wasn't right, but. Those memories are gone. You're a new Lakers team now. A very new, different-looking Lakers team.
Yeah, by this time we should be probably 5-1, 8-1 by the time.
I don't know. The game that may or may not have happened in the past, except for is happening right now, it sounds like a good one.
We beat Utah Jazz on October 25th. The final score was 97-91 Lakers.
That's interesting. Yeah. I won't have to write that down because I'll definitely know that that's true right now, this instant. But actually, I'm pretty curious. And I'm a bit of a Jazz sympathizer, but I also really like that the Jazz, I just want them to be that team that's always in the playoffs and never, ever wins, ever. I think they've ridden that motif long enough. Just keep it up. It's a good thing. And you know what? Jazz fans are extremely passionate and loyal, but also it seems like a nice fan base.
A little racist. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, I just thought that would be funny.
Whatever, man. Let me see. You got to think of a more racist one. No. You know what? The first thing that came to mind was actually the Mavericks, because it's like, whatever. The Mavericks got like 2 foreign white guys on their team, but I'm sure that's more than just that team. That's the first one that came to mind. But anyway, Utah Jazz, I kind of like them. Don't love them, just like them. We'll see it. We'll fact check that score later. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. I know I put another slide in here that was kind of pointless now because I already said it. But new show format changes again. Probably notice we are going to we're going to do weekly format for just a little while, see how it goes, and we will probably record a couple episodes a night just to see how that goes. See if we can make it a little more efficient. And something I hear other podcasts do, a lot of the other podcasts I listen to do it, and I don't ever notice that it really bothers me. And I would say the lone thing that we'll see is if like news comes out, we will have to adjust because we enjoy talking about the latest and greatest with the Netflix series, for example, and that should be more. There should be more news more often, I would think, in the near future. So we'll see if we're able to navigate that. But in the meantime, welcome to Book 2 Earth, episode 39. That's 19 of Book 2. And we are on to the Guru, who we have already met. But now Aang is going to visit him in person for what is one of the more interesting episodes, I would imagine, in most people's opinions, in Book 2. It's a very interesting one.
Yeah, so we start off with the gang being split up. Katara staying in Ba Sing Se so she can help formulate the plan to invade the Fire Nation on the Day of Black Sun. Toph going to go find her mother because she got a letter from her saying that that her parents have forgiven her, all those things. And then Aang is going to go to the Eastern Air Temple to meet up with Guru Batik so he can learn to master the Avatar state. And Sokka is going to Chameleon Bay to meet up with his dad. So Team Avatar is completely splitting up here. I do love this moment of Sokka and Aang because Aang is dropping off Sokka. And like Sokka's like in the best chipper mood, I feel like. He's like, oh yeah, we finally got the Earth King on our side. We got Long Fei arrested. We got girls waiting for us. And like as if like Long Fei getting arrested was like a goal that he had.
This is number one.
Yeah. We got Long Fei
arrested isn't good enough for that clown. If anybody needs his bending stolen. Sorry. Soapbox.
Yeah.
Did we did the letters and stuff and the kiss? We put that all in the last episode. Did that happen in this?
It happened in the last episode, yes.
The letters.
Yep. Yeah, because they got the letters, and then they were on their way to leave, and then as they were leaving, Sokka tells them about the Kyoshi Warriors and stuff, and it ends with the Kyoshi Warriors not the Kyoshi Warriors, it ends with Azula as the Kyoshi, dressed up as the Kyoshi Warriors, gotcha. And that's where that episode ends on.
I can picture him bowing down in the palace. The Kyoshi, Azula as the Kyoshi Warriors. Okay.
Yes. Yep. So then they're on their way. Aang
got a letter from Guru Pathik that was initially tied to Appa's horn, and then was intercepted by Dobby the house elf, aka Long Fang.
Hey, let's not disrespect Dobby like that.
That's true. That's kind of harsh. You know what? Dobby in the second book, though, come on, man. I don't even.
Oh, that's why you're saying that. Okay.
I don't even like the second book that much. Shh. It's not the best.
Let's rewatch it. But Dobby was a little bit annoying there.
He's way more annoying in the movie than in the book. Like in the book, it's more spread out, so it seems less egregious. I'm just not a fan of the second book.
So Aang meets up with Guru Pathik, and he goes through. We'll just go with Aang's part here. He goes through this real life practice of clearing your chakras. Like this isn't something they just make it up. It's not exactly just like this. There's no. Well, it's fairly close, I believe.
It's formatted to fit your television.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's not as simple as doing it in like a day, the way the Aang does it. But it's interesting because Brian Kaniska in some of the commentary mentions like how people come up to him and tell him like, "Wow, your show did a really good job depicting going through and cleansing your chakras and everything." He's like, "I was learning it as I went along." He's like, "I'm not an expert at this. I was learning it as I was writing the episode." But he's really proud of that episode, and that it's I think really touched a lot of people. It's a really touching way that Aang goes through all of those. There's a couple different chakras that I think are really key and really important. Some other ones that aren't as significant. Um, the one that I think is one of the most important ones was, and I wish I could just had a list of them all. But the one that I really enjoyed was it guilt? I think it was guilt and love, whichever one, or sorrow. I have to look it up.
I was gonna say
But
I can't I don't have the memory to distinguish them like that.
yeah. But interesting enough, when sometimes I try to come up with discussion topics for us to do. One of them, which I laugh about because it's so stupid that I would even think of it, was like, oh, you know what? We should try and go through and clear my chakras and like have me go through, or both of us go through all of them. And then as I was like answering these questions to myself, I was like, oh no, these are way too personal.
It we'll do it in our own time, and then we'll record an episode right after, and we'll see if you notice a difference, like if we're just way more chill or in control that day. One thing, like just as something to discuss while you're looking it up, is that it struck me as, hey, Aang is doing all this like remarkably fast. Like you're right, it does seem like he's doing a lot in a short amount of time. But then something just related to me is like, I don't know, Aang is already pretty good at meditating. Like other people might
Mhm.
have to learn how to meditate to even make this happen. Like he already got past the hardest part. Like he already understands how to shut out the exterior world for proper meditation and to focus on the internal and be able to visualize all these things. So it's like maybe it's just because he's already got the hardest part figured out, like the functionality part. And so that's kind of how I rationalized it into my head. And then I was like, but do other types of benders have to do this to control the avatar state? Like, you
Well,
trying to
no, I
teach
don't
some
think.
angry earthbender how to do this?
The thing is that I think there are many ways to there, and it's canon, but there are many ways to control the Avatar state. Roku in the Lost in Escape from Spirit World, Journey to Spirit World, whatever that little short was for the Nickelodeon game, Nickelodeon.com game. Avatar Roku says that he tried to master the Avatar state, and it was like just through like sheer meditation, but also with the light from the winter solstice beam shining on him. But then he was like stuck in the Avatar state. I mean,
No
Kyoshi,
big deal.
by the end of Rise, yeah, by the end of Rise of Kyoshi, it seems like she has full control over the Avatar state, and I don't think she did anything really to try and control it. There was moments that she was out of control, but I think by the end of that book, you get the sense that she is in control of the Avatar state.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's implied, but I think we are allowed to interpret it that way. Like it seems like she's got a pretty good grasp on it. It's not just a loose
Yeah,
cannon thing like Aang's is.
yeah.
Up
And then
to this
there's no
point.
way that and then there's no way that I mean in Core Master Avatar state, and then there's no way that Roku did the cleansing the chakras way because he has love. He got married. He had kids, so he didn't let go of his earthly attachments. And also the way that Yang Chen talks about letting go of your earthly attachments, that it's impossible for the Avatar to do that in the first place. Um, like to me, like Guru Pratik was always set up to fail because Aang, as the Avatar, can't do that. Like he can't detach himself from the world because his sole duty is to the world. Um, which they, I feel like they never really address how no, this is wrong. I need to do this another way. Although Aang does say like, really with this discussion with Iroh in the next episode, which we'll get into that about how like, oh well, choosing love over power, it's good.
I'm okay with the mist. You said they don't really address it. Like I'm okay with it. Like I don't know. Life's not black and white. There didn't have to be a right answer here. But I
Yeah.
do. What was I gonna say? I do think I had a thought and now it's gone. Oh, but like Aang, he gets married and stuff later as well, but still has mastered it. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. You say Guru Patik like set up to fail. I would say it's one of those things where it's like a type of spiritualism where you constantly aim for this sort of pinnacle of perfection, and even though you can't possibly achieve it, it still has to be your end goal in order to be pure and be the right way. Like just trying really hard
Okay.
to untether oneself. I don't know, that's just how I interpreted it.
All right, so I have it pulled up because I have a new tablet.
Did you find the chocolates?
Going faster now?
I just called them the chocolates. Did you find the chocolates?
Yes. Did I find the chocolates?
I hope so. I'm
If
starving.
only. Actually, anyway, not important. I was gonna say how. I know I'm saying it. How I did not give in to my craving today to get this bowl of ice cream. There's this like restaurant
But it's Friday, man.
right
Just
by
do
where I
it.
work. Well, there's a restaurant by where I work, and sometimes during lunch, I would just go there. It's a nice restaurant, right? But they have this dessert called a gooey cookie thing. It's like a fried cookie dough balls and served with ice cream. I go by myself. I just eat it, and then I leave. Like I'm a regular there. They're like, "Hey, you want the you want the usual?" And I'm like, "Yeah, give me
Someday
the."
they'll stop
And that's my lunch.
asking. Someday you'll just walk in. They'll be like, "The objective geek," like how people say Norm and Cheers, except for
Yeah.
and then they'll serve you your ice cream. Oh, what a special day that would be! It's too.
Okay, so
I shut off the ice cream now. It's too cold for that until like April,
oh,
May.
it's I eat ice
Yep.
cream once a week.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like good ice cream, not just I went to McDonald's and got a snow cone. Not snow
Anything
cone, but
soft serve is not ice cream. I will take a hard
yeah,
stance.
it's not. Yeah,
I
oh,
want
I agree with you.
real ice cream, but
But I eat ice cream at least once a week. Like honestly, if it wasn't for ice cream, I would weigh probably 10 pounds less.
I expected that to be a way bigger number.
I'm always realistic with things. I try not to over exaggerate, and I was being sincere.
No,
in
that's
that.
fair. I think that's like if I quit drinking soda right now, I'm gonna drop 10 pounds in a handful of weeks. But yeah, anything past that's probably exaggerating. Anyway, you found the chocolates. Let's hear about
Yes,
them.
found the chocolates. So there's the Earth chakra, which is blocked by fear, and it deals with survival. It's at the base of the spine, and Aang got over this by his fear of the Fire Lord, which to me I felt like he could have had a different fear, like maybe a fear of letting down everybody.
Yeah, because he definitely still has some serious Fire Lord fears coming up real soon, but we'll discuss it a later
Yeah.
time.
Then there is the water chakra, which is blocked by guilt, and it is associated with pleasure. It is, what the heck is a sacrum? It is located in the sacrum. That sounds like balls or something.
It kind of
Oh.
does. I know, the word is not unfamiliar to me, but I don't know actually what it means. It's got to be a sack of some type. Sacrum?
I don't know.
Sacrum?
That's
I'll ask my
sacrum.
wife later. It might be inappropriate to talk about on air. I don't even know.
Maybe it's not like the
you just said
center of
balls.
your. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look it up later. But yeah, so that's the water chakra. Chakra. Aang got over that one because Aang had to forgive himself for, I think, hurting. Aang had to forgive himself for fleeing the Southern Air Temple and also hurting people as when he went to Avatar State that one time against General Fong's people. So that was his guilt. And then there's a fire chakra, which is blocked by shame, and it deals with willpower. And this one had to do with Aang accepting his duty as the Avatar. And this had to do with Aang accepting that he was a firebender because he was the Avatar. So that's how he got through that. Then there's the air chakra, which this is my favorite chakra. It is blocked by grief, and it deals with love. And that's really interesting. Those two, I feel like are just, are really interesting. I mean, all of these are sort of opposites of each other. You know what? I mean, they're on a spectrum of each other. You know, the block by and
Opposites
it
are at
deals
least
with.
like perpendicular, like they intersect strangely or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
hard to
I
have
could
the
see how.
opposite of an emotion, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I can see how how grief is really love. Like, because when when you love something so much, and you lose it, you grieve over so much, and that's how they go through Aang. And I just love this moment, because especially the way the group of narrates it, like you have felt a great loss, but then he says, but the love that your people had was, was never. Love cannot be destroyed. Like it just transforms into new love, and then like the essence of all the airbenders then forms into Kotara's face. I've always loved that moment. That's one of those moments in the show that's like this is not a kids show at all. Um, like one thing dealing with this whole chakra thing, cleansing the chakras and that kids thing, but just that moment of like love is everlasting. Love cannot be broken. Like that same love that you felt from your air nomads, that's never ended. Your love just keeps on getting transformed through multiple different means. So
really
love that
nicely
one.
animated sequences too. The whole thing, like that's a really nice peak.
Yeah.
That's the last one, but very nice animation throughout the entire sequence.
Yeah. There's the sound chakra, which is blocked by lies. Deals with truth. Um, so the Aang just pretty much that one. Aang had to accept his destiny as the Avatar. Then there's the light chakra, which is blocked by illusion. And deals with insight. It is located in the forehead. Also, the sound chakra is located in the throat. If you wanted to know that. Um,
Makes sense.
and this one, this one was really cool because this one's all about like the illusion of separation, right? Group Critique mentions that how like many people think we're all disconnected, but really we're all one people and on one source. Which I love that moment because that rings true in really all of life. Like we can find ways to divide ourselves, and granted, the uniqueness that we all have is really important. But at the end of the day, we are like we are the Earth.
We
We
should.
are one big giant organism.
It's one of those things where it's a really nice way to think that in an ideal world we would embrace our uniqueness as individuals, but not as groups. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then there's the thought chakra, which is blocked by earthly attachments and deals with pure cosmic energy. It is located at the crown of the head. And this is one the Aang was like, which I love this because it's kind of like a record scratch moment. It's like you must let go your earthly attachments. Whoa, whoa, wait, what?
Hold
But
up, what?
you telling me I love Aang's response. Like, I don't want to let go of Katara. Like, one thing I love her. Also, 3 chakras ago, love was a good thing.
he he
Like,
did his
just
studies.
the way
Good
he
work,
says
eh?
it.
You did your homework, man.
Yeah. Um, just a little thing here. Apparently, so in real life, according to this wiki, in real life, which I've just mentioned before, the concept of chakras originated in ancient India and forms a part of many philosophical, spiritual, and religious systems. The chakra points specifically where they are the chakra points specifically where they are located to what they refer and by what they are blocked are somewhat the same according to chakra charts. I should really bring up the wiki in everything we do because it's kind of interesting stuff.
I'm telling you, man, that wiki, yeah, people invest way, 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 way tons of time in there, and I'm extremely grateful. I don't know if you noticed, I have a terrible memory for specific details, so I have to reference the Wikia frequently for episode specific memories.
Okay, so I'll stop reading now. Um, so yeah, so at that point we kind of leave Aang's story. He's dealing with that, but yeah, I really love the air chakra, and I love when Aang cries. It's just that moment afterwards. Before he hated the onion and banana juice, and afterwards like, can I have some onion and banana juice, please? And I don't know, I just find it really charming.
Yeah, we should mention like right at the beginning. He's like, "This tastes like onion and banana juice," and Guru Batique's like, "That's because it is."
I would hate onion and banana juice. That
I
sounds
I
gross.
barely tolerate either of those things independently.
Okay. Oh, and Sokka's moment. Lots of great moments, I think. So Sokka's reunion with his dad. First of all, his reunion with the other people in the tribe, because like they kind of size him up and everything. He's like Sokka, Sokka.
Like
Like I
roughing
just
him up
love.
as he comes into the camp, like very
Yeah, yeah,
like masculine
um,
guy banter.
yeah. But like for them, like they haven't seen Sokka in 2 years. Like people grow a lot in 2 years, especially if you haven't seen them. Like Sokka's a man now. Like when they left, he was probably just a boy.
Probably formative
Um,
years too. Yeah.
yeah. And they all kind of just lead him to his father's tent. And I love this moment because I think this is the first, yeah, I love this moment because this is the first good father we see, right? In the whole entire show. Um, Sokka opens up the tent and his Bato's there. He sees Sokka and he jabs Hakoda, and Hakoda looks up. He's like, Sokka, my son. And they hug and like, this is just some really great representation of male bonding. Like, I mean, every time I see my dad, I hug him, but it's not like that nice. Like, also, I mean, I don't go, 2 years without seeing him. He's off to war. I'm sure if that was the case, I would hug the crap out of my
Yeah,
dad.
but yeah, a little
But
different.
yeah,
War has a funny way of playing with people's emotions.
yeah. Um, but I just love this moment between them two. They don't cry though, which is interesting because they're separated at another point in the story, and they get reunited, and Hakoda does cry in that moment, which is really interesting. It'll be interesting
There's
when we
some
revisit
pride
that.
in that one, though. I think if I'm thinking of what you're thinking of, there's some pride in that one when it happens too. It's like a
Yeah, I think
emotional blend. Whereas this is one strict emotion. It's just like, son is here,
yeah,
hug him.
yeah. So that was great. They're about to go like attack some ships or something. You can see how Sokka's dad is very ingenuitive. Where you see where Sokka gets it from. His dad invented like some stink bombs, and he also does little jokes and stuff. So it's just really cool to see what like Sokka might be like when he's older.
I always get the impression like Sokka's more creative, but like his dad's got way more refinement on it. Like they do a nice job of
Oh yeah,
relaying his
yeah,
his refined experience and the dad jokes. He's been away for a couple of years, so the dad jokes are rough.
yeah. On Toph's side, she pretty much just gets straight captured by
By
Mhm.
the Boulder, not
Yeah,
Boulder. What is the Boulder?
no,
I can't. It's the
no, it's not
main
the Boulder.
guy,
Boulder,
and
Boulder's cool. I forget his name.
I only care about the Boulder. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a new Taylor Team Avatar, and there's a really, that comic book I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a really great comic of the Boulder gets a cat thing, and Toph and him is trying to get the cat, trying to get the cat to stop being grumpy. For some reason, it is a really great comic. It's kind of funny.
The Boulder's soft side.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I have it right there. I'll read. What's the funny part of it? Do me. I read it to my daughter last night, or maybe it was the night before, and we both were just cracking up at it. Like, this is the animation is kind of interesting. The Boulder's trying to make the cat thing some food to get it to stop
Unusual
growling so much.
animation, or at least not what I
Yeah.
expected.
No, it is unusual, but it's great.
I can see the Boulder as a cat person.
Also, the cat's name is the Pebble.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was really fun to read.
Good for
I
the
was
Boulder
surprised
to get
that I
a little
liked
more,
it that
a little more
much.
airtime. Well, not airtime, but paper time. A little more page time.
Yeah, let's see here. So yeah, so the cat is like just meowing the crap out of it. The cat thing is like, meow. And then Toph goes, "The Boulder, what is all this?" "Toph, the Boulder sure is happy to see you." Like continue to talk in the third person, which
Did
is
she
great.
refer to him as the Boulder?
Yes.
That's
The
amazing.
Boulder.
That'd be like me looking at you and be like, "Hey, the objective geek."
Uh, She says, "Since when did you have a croco cat?" Meow, was a cat. "His name is the Pebble. He's been an integral part of the Boulder's life for years." It's really good.
The Boulder referring to himself in the third person right now? Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. That makes me really happy.
All right. Yeah. So Toph was captured by them in a metal container thingy.
And they make a big deal of pointing out that she cannot be metal. And then you kind of like, oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah, you immediately see where it's going.
It's pretty heavy-handed, which is kind of disappointing, but whatever. Yeah. It's a small...
Even you can't bend metal.
Right. It is worth pointing out again that, like, just like last episode, the Aang story, for example, here is like, it's at least half the episode, the Aang and the Guru and the Chakras, and the rest of it is pretty jam-packed. Those other facets. All subplots. Good subplots. Good subplots.
Yeah. So then Katara gets captured by... Katara first goes get some tea. She sees Zuko and Iroh there. And then she runs the palace to warn the Earth King of it, and she only finds that Azula's there, and they stop her real quick. Which I love this moment of Ty Lee taking out Katara. She like does the jump, and then she quickly chi blocks her, and Katara falls. And like they do something really cool. Like it looks like there's her pool of water comes out, but it's meant to, I think, look like a pool of blood. Like if you just painted that red, it looks bleak and dark.
It does kind of spill out in the way. I never thought of that, but I can see that. It's kid-friendly blood spill.
Yes, yeah. Which I always am amazed at the things that TV shows, cartoons get away with, that they should get away with, but how they get creative and stuff. Like in Batman the Animated Series, like they show Dick Grayson's family being killed, right? Like they first show them on the high ropes. Is that what they call them? Trapeze artists, high ropes. Anyway,
I'm
they
not
show
positive, but I believe you.
Yeah, they show them on it, and they continue to show the rope like being cut, like the little strings.
The individual threads are kind of popping one by one, sort of.
Yes, threads. So they keep showing them swinging, and then it swings back again, but there is no bar and there is no person. And so you're left with your imagination, and your imagination is worst a lot of the time.
We're pretty good at picturing like the worst and best things. When left to our own devices, we get pretty dramatic. But hey, that's the desired effect here, I suppose. Except in Katara's case, where it's it's a visual metaphor. I guess.
We see it's a metaphor. And then they also invite the Earth King invites Iroh and Zuko to serve tea to him. Also, Zuko's a little too happy, I think, in this moment. Like this, he was just kind of far too happy for my taste.
Yeah, I think it's better addressed. I think next episode we should have like just kind of a Zuko-centric discussion, because I think the roller coaster is kind of too extreme to both ends here in the past 3 or 4 episodes. But that's just my take. But I think well, let's give like overarching feelings on Zuko in the next episode. I think. So then, but they get captured. Did they get captured here? Oh, I think that's in this episode that they get. Yeah. My bad. That's next one. Yep. So here, just Katara getting captured.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And then Aang sees this. Also, we should note that. I mean, we already kind of really mentioned that as Aang was clearing his chakra that was blocked by illusion, Toph realizes that metal is made up of little earth fragments that she can see, and then she breaks out of there with metal bending.
And it's a really nice overlap of the chakra segment, kind of overlaid on top of Toph realizing that it's metal. It's kind of cute. Yeah. I like it.
And none of the other stories overlap with that really at all. So it's kind of.
No, I mean, I guess you could maybe count Katara's capture and Aang noticing, but not in the same way. Like, this is sort of like I don't know, like spiritual parallels happening with Aang and Toph in that
Yep.
moment. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I imagine that those two died in there, like, because I mean, Toph completely shut that closed, right? And she left them.
I
She
think
like she completely. The thing is, no one else could open that up, right? Because tools don't. There's no such thing as a handsaw to cut that open. And she left them there. So I'm pretty sure they're dead.
I would say that, like, I think that Katara and Sokka are capable of murder. I think that Toph would be like a willing murderer. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if she just did it and she's like, they'll probably die. That's okay. Not that she's like cold blooded, but just
Yeah.
they're clearly
Well,
bad guys.
I mean,
They won't get
okay,
off her
so
case.
they're stuck in there. All right, they can clearly breathe because Toph could breathe, so that's not an issue. Really, the issue comes down to how long can they last without food and water, and if someone can somehow get there.
And she kind of crumples it like a can a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, which that makes it seem like it's harder to open.
Yeah, and that they can't even, like, so in my head it's, well, there's a grate, maybe you can earthbend stuff from outside inside somehow, or just earthbend rocks to hit her, but like, they don't think they can move their arms or anything.
Yeah, they can't move. Yeah.
It'd be very small, like finger directed earthbending at best.
Let's just say Toph didn't care about their well-being.
She did not save them. She did not. She doesn't have to. What is? I'm screwing up the Batman phrase.
I don't have to. I don't have to kill you, but I'm not going to save you either.
Yeah, she kind of pulls that one, except for she sort of directly endangers them. Also, she kind of kills them. But what it, like I said, if there's one person that was gonna do it from Team Avatar, it's probably Toph. Like, I can see Katara killing somebody in like a sort of a
Vengeful.
yeah, like
Vengeful
if you catch Katara at like peak angry vengeance, she would do it, and she'd probably feel remorse later. I don't know if Toph's gonna be all that remorseful that she killed a couple folks if they died, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That'd be a great question for for Brian and Michael someday. Like, hey, Toph kill those people?
One day, that's a life goal of mine. One day I'm going to meet those two somehow.
It's attainable. Like, they're present. They're out there. They're not recluses, so that's a reasonable goal.
Yeah. So then, Aang sees a vision of Katara being captured while he's trying to clear his chakra, which is a great visual of him trying to clear that chakra. Really good.
And it feels like he's
like
close.
Katara sort of goes off in the distance. Yeah. Yeah. This is like, it should be heavily influenced by Star Wars, right? Because pretty sure it's in Empire Strikes Back, right? The second one, where Luke he's training with Yoda. He sees a vision of Leia being captured or hurt or something, and like even Yoda's like, "You gotta finish your training," and Luke is like, "No, I gotta go save my friends." So it's very reminiscent of that.
It is really close, and Yoda gets kind of straight up angry at him. He's like, "You don't do this now, you'll be overcome by evil," or something. Like, it's pretty harsh wording, whatever it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Star Wars fans, I'm butchering it. I can't remember the exact language.
Yeah, I don't remember that well.
But I remember that you're
overrated.
Right. Good
I'm kidding. Actually, Empire Strikes Back is actually a really amazing movie.
Yeah. We can both agree that it is the best
of
the trio. I still love the other two. It just Empire's best, but I think most people agree with that. I don't think the saying Empire is the best.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people agree that Empire Strikes Back is the best of the first sits,
and maybe
really the best.
Maybe still the best to this point. I would say so, but great comparison. Regardless. I hadn't thought of that.
And that's the episode.
There's the ending. I don't know if it's the end, and there could be like, I don't know, there could be like a little Zuko Iroh moment at the end there too. I don't remember exactly. But I do really like the visualization of Aang running away, kind of from the chakra, from being able to open the chakra, and you can see him running away and then kind of falling out of it, and it's not hyper detailed. Like I don't want to say it's simple. It's not super detailed or anything, but it's just really powerfully done.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really the whole episode. You can kind of see everything. If last episode we called it a segue, this episode is like really close to the climax. Like this episode is heading up the hill toward a pretty exciting climax, and you can kind of see how everything's coming together. And that's exciting. Like I can imagine seeing this the first time through, getting through this episode, and like I don't like, why do I have to wait to watch the other one? I need the other one to be on right now. So it does. I don't know. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, I think. But before I give too many opinions, let's get to some ratings, which this time I have done correctly.
Good. Yeah. Last week you didn't.
What a train wreck. I think if we look back, we could spot at least 2 errors in every PowerPoint I have ever assembled. I'm going to say bare minimum. You could pick out 2. So don't look closely. We're here for the discussion, not visual accuracy. I hope.
So audio visual gets a 9. I think really just all the music and definitely the visuals with the clearing the chakras was done so well. Just very, very well. Gets a 9 there. Story gets a 9 as well. I've always just loved Aang going through and clearing his chakras, especially at the moment I said before with the air chakra and how love can never be truly gone. It's just transformed. That's just some really insightful human storytelling there. And then for memorable, a 9.5. It's really all about Aang clearing his chakras here for me. Oh, and Toph metal bending. Those are 2 of the greatest moments from this. So,
Toph metal bending, it is like a weirdly, like, I know Katara gets captured and she's in like mortal danger and Sokka reunites with his dad, but Toph metal bending, like, nice.
Yeah. Averages out to a 9.1 out of 10.
That is a hefty average. I think mine's similar. I gave audiovisual 9. Same reasons. No amazing action sequences in here, but you do get Toph metal bending. Story, I gave a 9.5, which is, I don't know. I'm surprised I gave it because this episode does not stand alone very well at all. Like, it definitely needs to be exactly where it's at, and it definitely needs the context of the surrounding episodes. And so it's weird for me to give it that, but I really appreciate seeing this part of Aang's journey and just how impactful it is, and it has such a good way of getting me excited for the things to come. And then memorable, 8.5. It doesn't stand out in my head quite as much. Like sometimes when I think of Toph metal bending, for example, I don't even remember that it falls in this episode, or that like Sokka reuniting with his dad. Like it's kind of separate in my head. Minor details. Still 8.5. That's great. And that rounds to a 9.1. So if you're a math person, you can imagine that 9.1 is appropriate. And you can probably guess that that's a really good episode in the grand scheme of things. That's very high on the list. The list that you should watch in a couple of weeks to see officially, as we will do that soon. But first, we have to get to a finale, a very exciting finale. That's going to be our next episode. Chris, any thoughts leading up to the finale? Closing thoughts on this episode?
No, love. I love the love. Love is everlasting. Love is what's that, Corinthians something? I forget. I really shouldn't forget. I have it written down on a.
I was just feeling the same way. I was like, I know I should know this. That might even be the one. That might be like my wedding, like one of the Bible verses from my wedding. I still couldn't tell you which one it is, but I know it's in there.
It's in Corinthians 2, I'm pretty sure. 23 something.
That sounds close. I think it sounds close. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
2 Corinthians, as Trump would say. I'm sorry.
It is, Chris. Congratulations. You have opened your chakra. Well done.
Now just
I'm telling you,
like
before the next episode, we need to both sit down and meditate and open our chakras, and then we'll come back to the next episode in charge of our avatar states. It'll be awesome.
Yes.
I really like. So if you think back to the first season, the finale is excellent in a way that it really stands out from the rest of the episodes. But we kind of mentioned in the previous podcast that these, like, there's like 4 or 5 episodes at the end, and really, if you think about it, the majority of the season really, really runs together. So in a strange way, I think we will find and talk about, or at least mention, I don't know if the finale sticks out quite as much, and it may not even be the best finale of the 3 or anything like that. But it's such a good sequence. There's so much good build up in the previous handful of episodes, and it's a really gratifying one. So I'm looking forward to talking about that, and we will be talking about it next week. That's right, not 2 weeks, just 1 week off. Still going to try this weekly thing, and after we do next week's, we will sit and reevaluate and let you know how things go and make a decision going forward. Also, after next week, I would imagine we are going to take a small breather in between seasons for some fun episodes. I would envision. Yes. I'm just making all these plans out loud without talking to you first, so hopefully they're cool. I think we'll probably watch a movie that's going to suck, and we'll probably do an episode about our favorite episodes in this season, which should be good, and potentially 1 or 2 other things. You know, it would be really cool to squeeze a few extras in before we jump into the finale. Like, I just don't want to rush through this because it's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Let's take our time. Let's enjoy the ride.
I'm pretty excited to get to Legend of Korra because I feel like you don't have a great memory of that at all.
I don't. I've only watched it once through, dedicated. So it basically, and that's been 5 years basically. So as I watch through Legend of Korra, it's gonna be 80% fresh. So that is very exciting. Yeah. I'm also very excited.
And also, I feel like opinions on.
What if
also, I feel like opinions on Legend of Korra is a little bit more. Opinions might be a lot different there.
And I've grown up as I've matured. Maybe I'm ready to accept more of Korra's lessons. I also have this beautiful vision of we don't have a release date on the live action series, but wouldn't it be awesome if we like got through Legend of Korra just in time for the live action series? Like,
I'm thinking that's how it was. Someone recently commented on my video that I did 2 weeks ago. The 10 things that the live action version do to be better than the original, and they had comments like, "Oh, are you going to review the episodes?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to review them. I don't know what format yet, or when, but it'll probably be on the podcast, and we'll probably be through Avatar. Once we finish that, do Legend of Korra, then maybe right then there we'll be ready to get right into the show."
So yeah, if we got 20 episodes left, and we say, you know, if that's roughly 20 weeks, whether it's weekly or roughly 2 episodes a week or whatever, and then I don't know how many episodes.
50 episodes.
50? Like how
50.
many?
50.
50 flat, like 10. Okay.
And like 50. Yeah, there's maybe.
So
48.
you know, a year and a quarter, which would put the live action series like early 2021. That's not unreasonable.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Year and a third. No, it seems pretty reasonable. So I think, that'd be really cool. And I'll just, it's one of those things where it's like, because it's brand new, a part of me is like, what if Chris just wants to do the live action one on himself, like on his own? I'll be like, whatever. Then he'll just do it on his own first and get the fresh perspective.
It's honest what
I will force him to sit down again and then talk about it. Or just like
when it comes out, I'm taking that day off and I'm watching the whole thing probably twice before my work day would be over.
So maybe you can give a nice like a big thorough review, and then I'll invite myself still to come through with podcast style episode by episode.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm pretty good at imposing myself in places where I'm with like Stuart from Big Bang Theory. That's essentially me on the internet. But hey, that's all a long ways off. Regardless, we're very excited. And thank you for joining us for this episode. Be sure to come back 1 week from today to watch our thoughts on the finale, because it should be really good. We hope. Thank you for watching. My name's Shawn Shaler. This is Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek. And thanks for watching Avatar: The Last Podcasters.